How often do you put off something important just because you didn't feel motivated? David Goggins has a cure for that, and it's not what you think. After reading both of his books and listening to hours of podcasts, I was able to find 5 tools that he uses when he doesn't feel like doing something. These tools helped him become a Navy SEAL and an ultramarathon runner, so imagine what they can do for you. When we don't feel like doing something, we'll often get sudden waves of negative feelings begging us to quit or not do the thing we're supposed to do. And in those moments, those seconds, you have a choice. You can either give in to those feelings and choose comfort, or you can keep pushing. This is called the 1-second decision, and it's the first tool you have at your disposal when motivation is low. So here's how you use it. The next time you're at your computer and you have to get some work done, but you don't feel motivated to do it, or you're out on a run and you just want to stop, realize this. During those moments, your mind has taken over. You're not thinking clearly. If you want to get the motivation back, you need to beat those seconds. Here's how. You need to take back control of your mind and realize the consequences of giving up. You do this by imagining yourself where your mind is begging you to be. In Hell Week, David Goggins used this trick when he was in the cold water and his mind was yelling at him to get warm. He would close his eyes and imagine himself on the beach with dry clothes on and a warm cup of coffee. And from that state of mind, it was easier to make the right decision and stay in the water, because he realized that if he got out of the water and actually got warm, the only thing he would feel at that point is regret and shame, not just for 1 second, but for years. Now, you're probably never going to go through Navy SEALs training, no offense, but here's a more relatable example. When I was writing this script, I felt like laying down on my bed and scrolling on YouTube. I felt a lot of resistance to doing the work. So I closed my eyes and imagined myself in bed with my phone, exactly where my mind wanted me to be in that moment. And from that point of view, I was able to see how not writing the script that day would lead to regret the whole week. So it was a lot easier to stay at the computer and get the work done. So the next time motivation is low and you're faced with one of those 1-second decisions, realize that the cost and the discomfort of quitting is much higher than the discomfort of doing the thing. This should give you the burst of motivation you need to keep going. Now, if the 1-second decision fails and you still feel zero motivation to doing the thing, then you can use David Goggins' second tool, the recording device. Pull out your phone. If you don't feel like doing something, then you must have a good reason not to, right? So press the record button and explain why you shouldn't do it. Explain why it's not the right day for the gym. Explain why you should start your business next week instead of tomorrow. When you're done listing all your excuses, play the recording back and listen to yourself. You're gonna sound like a bitch. I don't feel like writing my script right now. I'm a little bit tired. Motivation is not coming easily at all. Instead, I could read. I could do some schoolwork, because I have the energy to do some schoolwork, and I could do the script tomorrow maybe. Now this alone should get you going, but if it doesn't, make a second recording of you responding to your excuses as if you were speaking to a friend. Bro, what the hell are you saying? You said you were gonna do the script today, and then on Wednesday, you were gonna record the video. If you write the script tomorrow, you're gonna be late one day, and who knows, you might not have time to record the video Thursday, and you don't have time on Friday and Saturday. So you could be pushing off the work multiple days just because you don't want to do the work right now. That's some bullshit excuses. Go drink a coffee and get back to work. Not gonna lie, this really worked on me. There's something about hearing your excuses out loud that just completely crushes them. Before we move on, I want to know if you have the motivation to subscribe to my channel. If you don't, record yourself. You better have a good reason. If the first 2 tools don't work, you're gonna have to start taking souls. Goggins came up with this concept during Hell Week when the instructors were watching him and his teammates suffer, and instead of just barely getting through the challenges, he decided he was gonna go above and beyond. While others were dragging the boats, him and his team sprinted. When everyone complained, they smiled. They always did more than the instructors asked, and they were stunned. Goggins was taking their souls. The idea here is that when you're faced with a tough situation, when someone underestimates you, thinks you're gonna give up, you shouldn't try to simply get through it. You should try to go above and beyond. Now, how do we use this to get motivated? The next time you feel like quitting or procrastinating, I want you to imagine the people who have doubted you in the past. Imagine them looking at you right now and judging you. Would you quit or stay on the couch if it meant proving these people right? Because they're saying you can't do it. They're saying you're gonna give up. They're saying you're gonna fail. You need to prove them wrong. You need to do double the work you said you were gonna do and take their souls. If that doesn't motivate you to do the work, I don't know what will. Maybe the next tool also will. David Goggins believes that when your mind tells you to stop, when it tells you you don't have the energy, when it tells you you're done, you're only really at about like 40% of your limit. This is known as the 40% rule, and we're gonna use that idea to get you motivated to do anything. The next time you don't feel like doing something, or you think about cutting a workout short, just remember that you're nowhere near your limit. Your brain is lying to you. It wants to keep you safe and prevent unnecessary pain, and that's why it's begging you to stop. In those moments, I need you to get to 45%. Run another 500 meters, write another paragraph. If you have to go to the gym, get off the couch and get your gym bag ready. Then get to 50%, then 55. Next thing you know, you were struggling to write a single sentence for your school paper, and now it's 3 hours later and you wrote the whole damn thing. And so from now on, every time you feel the motivation drop because your mind is telling you that you can't keep going and that you've reached your limit, realize that it's lying and that you've still got plenty in the tank. Do one more set, work for 5 more minutes, just take one more step. This mindset shift will help you find motivation when your brain is telling you you're done. Let's move on to the final tool. Now, if after going through the first 4 tools you still don't feel motivated, here's what David Goggins would tell you. You're soft. It's not coming from me, it's coming from him. He would tell you that you need to stop relying on motivation, that you shouldn't be worried about whether you want to do something or not. You should just use discipline and do it anyway. The final tool is about callousing your mind so that you don't even need motivation anymore. You know how going to the gym gives you calluses on your hands, which makes the next workout less painful when you grip the bar? Well, in the same way, callousing your mind will make it so that doing hard things doesn't feel as hard the more you do them. You need to build up your mind so that pain and resistance doesn't stop you from doing what needs to be done. So, in order to callous your mind, you need to start doing things that you don't want to do and making them progressively harder. Depending on where you are right now, callousing your mind could mean making your bed every day for a week. It could mean going out for a run in the rain. Whatever it is, it just needs to be right outside of your comfort zone, which will build up your discipline. Now, I still believe in motivation. The vast majority of people need motivation if they want to do anything sustainably. So you should still try and use the first 4 tools as much as possible. But the reality is that David Goggins might be right here. Maybe you are soft. Maybe you do need to start doing hard things even when you don't feel like doing them. As a guy in your 20s, life is going to start throwing challenges at you soon, and you need to be ready for that. Relying only on motivation to do everything is not a good idea. But going down the Goggins route and using discipline to do things you hate hours a day is not a solid plan either.
Why do you think I run? It's the worst thing. I hate doing it more than anything.
Use motivation, use discipline, and you'll be ready for any challenge life sends your way. Join my free Discord community, Man of Meaning, where we aim to bring together men in their early 20s going through similar challenges. We're waiting for you. Click here if you want your fear of failure deleted. I'll see you next time.